Today we'll be talking about Sibanye's operating results. They came out with an operational update towards the beginning of May. So if we look at the key drivers, and these are the key drivers for most resources companies, we've got exchange rates. So for Sibanye's quarterly results, the rand weakened by about 17% from 15 Rand 22 to 17.76. But PGM prices fell. So on 4E PGMs, they were down 31%. 2E PGMs were also down 31%. 3E PGMs were down 3%, and gold was pretty much flat. And then if we look at volumes, we had the SA PGMs, production volumes declining about 8%. And this was impacted by load curtailment and theft of copper cables. And what was interesting is that they quantified the impact to production, and the impact of theft on production was higher than that on load curtailment. So just highlights that we all know that load shedding is a problem, but for this quarter, it appears that theft of copper cables was a larger problem than the load shedding. On SA Gold, production was up 46%. They had quite a low base because this time last year there were all those issues with the industrial action. So very little production occurred in the base period. On the US underground operations, those production numbers fell by 17%, and there was a shaft incident, which was the reason for the lower production numbers. And then in US recycling, those numbers fell by 59%, and that was blamed on lower scrappage rates. Basically, people are buying, due to the economy, people are buying less new cars, and so there's less cars going into PGM recycling. And then the final driver is costs. The costs were 50% higher for the US underground operations. That was mainly associated with costs regarding the shaft incident. For gold, they were 25% lower, and 4% lower for SA PGM operations. So guidance for the full year, it remains mostly unchanged. So it's SA operations, that's PGMs and gold, that remains unchanged. Recycling operations also remain unchanged, but there was an adjustment to the US underground operations. They lowered the volume, the production guidance, and increased cost guidance. We have adjusted for that in our valuation. It turns out that had those adjustments and the weaker rand has kind of had an offsetting effect. So our intrinsic value remained the same, and our call on Sibanye remains the same.
Thank you very much for joining us today.